Hello everyone, today I wanted to share my thoughts on the standard version of Beyonce's B-Day album with you. If you would like to skip right to my thoughts on the album, I will have a timestamp on the screen right here to where you guys can go to. And now on to a couple quick disclaimers. Number one, this is just my personal opinion and interpretation of all the songs. I'd love to hear yours down below, just keep it respectful please. Sorry for any background noise or dust particles that may occur throughout this video. I'm going to be reading off my phone as I always do. Everything that I mention and reference throughout this video will be linked down below in the description if you're curious. Lastly, if I have any notes that I forget to add, check down below. I might have a pinned comment. And let's get into it. I have all the songs on this album in tiers. There's no order in the tier or at all. I'm just reading them in the order that I wrote them down in. So the first tier is going to be the mid tier. There's only one song in here, which is going to be Get Me Bodied. I just never really been able to get into the song, and I did re-listen to it recently, and I can say I enjoy a part or two, but I feel like this song is just something that is underwhelming compared to the other tracks on this album. Like, it just really pales in comparison to everything else, and I feel like it's something that doesn't really go anywhere. So this song overall is just not really for me. About the song, it says, Beyonce took inspiration from Solange, who helped her in the writing process of the song, and former Destiny's Child bandmates Kelly Rowland and Michelle Williams. In Get Me Bodied, she mentioned 3 best friends because she was thinking of them while writing. While working on the lyrics, Swizz Beatz and the other producers in the team handled this production. And now on to the good tier. So I have one song in this tier as well, which is going to be Resentment. So this is actually a Victoria Beckham cover, but she changed it up quite a bit. Regarding that, it says, Beyonce rearranged the structure of the song by changing the order of lyrics, adding a chorus, and writing new lyrics. The song is 4 minutes and 42 seconds in length, a major difference from the original version's length of 3 minutes and 23 seconds. So overall, I think that this is a very powerful vocal performance. I really love the textures of her voice that she's using, and it's something that's very emotive. You can just really feel everything that she's singing in this, and it's impressive what she's able to achieve vocally on this song. I love how it progresses as well. I love the background vocals and just everything that she did to make the song her own. During an interview with 4 Music, the singer talked about the song, saying, the song on my new album B-Day I am proudest of is probably Resentment. I feel like vocally I've grown. I feel like all the chord changes and the beautiful harmonies and the lyrics is something that I really am proud of. And now on to the excellent tier. So the first song that I've written down is going to be Deja Vu featuring Jay-Z. So I think that this is such a fun listen. The instrumentation here is just sensational. I really love the bass line that's going all the way throughout this thing. I can always appreciate a great bass line, and I just think that it has a great production overall. I really like how the song is structured, and I love the way that they feed off each other. It's something that is so fun to listen to, and I also really do love Beyonce's vocal on here. I just think that it is absolutely incredible what she is able to do. Just the energy and the delivery and all of it, she just really goes off, especially on the bridge as well, and she always ate in the live performances of this song and just really gave her all. One of the best performers of all time, one of the best vocalists of all time for a reason, so I really do appreciate it there. I think that Jay-Z has a decent verse on this track as well. About the song, it says, in 2005, American record producer Rodney Darkchild Jerkins and producer John Trax came up with the concept of doing an old school track, a throwback with real bass and horns, to which the song's title is partially attributed. Tracks with Jerkins first recorded the bass sections, onto which percussion, horns, and vocals were layered. Production took place in Jerkins' New Jersey-based studio and Sony Music Studios in New York City. Jerkins recorded a demo version of the song with vocals by American songwriter Makeba Riddick, who is credited as a co-writer. They presented the demo to Beyoncé, who later approved of it. Deja Vu also has lyrical contributions from songwriters Alicia Thomas and Kelly Nicole Price, and Beyonce's husband, then boyfriend Jay-Z. He became involved at a late stage. Beyonce saw him trying to sing along to a recorded version of the track and asked him to contribute. Jay-Z recorded rap verses for the song and hence appears as a featured guest. Concerning the production of Deja Vu, Beyonce told NTV News, when I recorded Deja Vu, I knew that even before I started working on my album, I wanted to add live instruments to all of my songs. It's such a balance of music on the song. It's still young, still new and fresh, but it has the old soul groove. The energy is incredible. It's a summer anthem. I pray, I feel it. Rodney Jerkins is incredible. Jay, of course, is on it. He blessed his song. I'm happy with it. Also, I wanted to say recently that I listened to this podcast that Rodney Jerkins was on for Rolling Stone, and he actually talked a little bit more about the song in terms of like the creation of it and Beyonce's input and stuff like that. And he talked about some other stuff that was really fascinating, so I would highly recommend listening to that if you want a little bit more insight in terms of the creative process. And I will have that link down below in the description on Spotify and also Apple Podcasts as well if you're interested. The next song that I've written down is going to be Upgrade You featuring Jay-Z. So this song just makes me feel like $1 million, which I absolutely love. I think that they both sell the song super well. I just really love the confidence from both of them. Again, I love the way that they work together on the track and the structure of it. I love the lyrics. They are great as well. And then I think that the production on here is absolutely perfect. It is something that is so triumphant and just something that is very fitting for the track and the subject matter and everything. And I just think that they absolutely knocked it out of the park with this track. I love Beyonce's vocals on here, just something that is exquisite to listen to. And I can can also appreciate Jay-Z's contribution to the track. I think that he really takes it to another level in terms of that. I can also appreciate how the sample is incorporated as well. The next song that I've written down is going to be Sugar Mama. So I think that this one has a really intriguing production, always something that really fascinates me whenever I listen to it. And I also think that Beyonce has excellent vocals on here. She really goes off at the end specifically. Really love the textures of her voice that she's using once again here. And in the song, she's just saying, you know, let me be your sugar mama. I love the way that she approaches this track overall. A delightful listen, and I can appreciate how the sample is incorporated. The next song that I've written down is going to be Irreplaceable. So I think that this is an amazing track. This is one that Neil said that he wrote for himself, but then he said that he realized it would sound better for a woman singing it, and then it eventually ended up with Beyonce. And I think that he definitely made the right choice here, because I think that Beyonce sells the song so well and just truly makes it her own. It makes it something special and something that is just unforgettable. And so I'm just really glad that she got it at the end of the day, because I can appreciate her contributions there. I will say that overall as a person, Neo is trash. His songwriting did eat on the song, and that's what I can say in regards to that. And so I really love the instrumentation on this track with the guitar, something that's so fitting and kind of a driving force of the whole thing. And I really like the production on here as well. Super clean production, super fitting, and really allows Beyonce's vocals to shine over top of it, but something that's still interesting to listen to musically, which I can appreciate. I think that Beyonce's vocals on here are sublime. I can really appreciate the vocal arrangements all over this thing, and her vocal arrangements in general. She is very creative, has some great musicality, one of the best singers of all time, of course. And I love the bridge on this song, just so well performed and written. And I just think that this song is perfect, is really catchy, and it's a classic song. About the song, producer Tor Eric Hermanson says, "The seed for that song came from Rock Nation CEO Jay Brown, one of our early managers. He said, I think you guys should make a song that has acoustic guitar and hip hop beats. That's all he said. We had no idea what to do with the song because it was so different, but Beyonce heard it and said she wanted to cut it. We heard the song wasn't going to be on her album 2006's B-Day because it didn't fit the vibe. But then 4 hours later, the label called us back and said, actually, not only is it going to make the album, it's going to be the third single. She had to change a few things to make it more current sounding, the arrangement, some of the drum sounds. She's also so beautiful that you can't really look straight at her. You have to look to the left of her or something so you don't get distracted. She's just magnetic and really the most humble. There's never any drama. She always finishes her stuff. A lot of people like to throw ideas down and finish it later. I think because she's so busy, she always finishes stuff on the spot. Singing the last chorus, doing the ad-lib, throwing in the extra harmonies. She never leaves anything half finished. On the song, Mikkel Storlier Erickson says, we recorded with her and hung out with her in the studio a few times. She's the best in the game, hands down. She takes her shoes off and lays on the couch and is very hands-on when it comes to her own vocals. The last song in this tier is going to be Check On It featuring Bun B and Slim Thug. So I think that they all ate in the song, something that's super catchy. I love her vocal delivery and the production on here as well. And now on to my favorite songs on this album. So my number one song on here is going to be Kitty Cat. I absolutely adore this song. I think that the production is something that is so captivating. I love the melody on this track as well. It has very pretty vocals on here overall. I like the lyrics for the song. The bridge hits so hard every single time. It never gets old listening to it, and it kind of has like that running theme of empowerment throughout a lot of her songs, and something that's always a really enjoyable listen. And this is definitely one of my favorite songs in her entire discography. It might be number one depending on the day. I just love this song very much. I feel like it's very underappreciated in her discography and just deserves so much more than it is given. About the song, it says, Kitty Cat was conceived partly at the Sony Music Studios in New York City and Record Plant Studios in Los Angeles. It sees songwriting duties by Knowles, Pharrell Williams, Makeba Riddick, as well as Sean Carter, and utilizes production from the Neptunes, comprising of Williams and Chad Hugo. The latter also produced the song Greenlight. Jason Goldstein mixed Kitty Cat with assistance from Steve Toll. Also, Jason Goldstein did do an interview, and he was kind of talking about like mixing and stuff like that for this album in particular. I have not had the chance to read it yet, and I will in the future. But if you're interested in terms of learning more about the album process, then I'll have it linked down below in the description if you'd like to check that out. Concerning the song, Knowles told MTV, Kitty Cat is a very sexy song, talking about a man who was out with friends all night and you're left at home. And you're like, no, more of this. It's time to go. The song appeared online throughout the website of Wrap Up magazine on August 23rd, 2006, prior to the release of B-Day. The next song that I've written down is going to be Greenlight. So I think that the production on here is so intriguing to listen to. I also think that the song has a great pocket as well. I love her vocals on this song, and I love the way that the song progresses as well. Just something that is so intriguing to listen to overall, and I just love the way that it builds up in terms of her vocals, and she really goes up at the end. The next song that I've written down is going to be Freakum Dress. This song is absolutely phenomenal. The only way to listen to the song, as far as I'm concerned, is you have to crank it all the way up just so you can get the entire energy. I mean, the production on here, absolutely mind-blowing. It's just so cool in terms of that. And then I also really love just the intro of this song, just like the instrumentation coming, and then she's like, stop, I'm not ready yet. And just like the way that the song goes, like I just love it so much. Her vocals on here are absolutely exquisite to listen to. I also really love her vocal delivery. because at one part she's just saying put your freakum dress on, and then like she changes her cadence there and she switches it to triplets, I believe, something like that. So I kind of like how she like switches it up in terms of that, and just the way that the production kind of like fits over everything. And yeah, another one of my favorite Beyonce songs for sure. I just love this one so much. It's just a song that stands out in her discography. It's just something that is unique, powerful, and the energy of the song is truly unmatched. If you've never listened to the song before, then you're just not living life correctly. Like, I'm gonna need you to pause this video, go listen to the song, and come back, because your life will never be the same. Everything that you could possibly want from a Beyonce song, the way that she throws it on that bridge is special, and just what a great track that I really love the atmosphere of. About the song, it says, Harrison coined the term freakum dress for a sassy sartorial item that can help recharge a relationship, and co-wrote the song with Beyonce, Angela Beyonce, and Makiba Riddick. About the theme of freakum dress, Beyonce says, sometimes a woman feels like she needs to remind her man why he is in love with her or fancied her in the first place. All women have that freakum dress at the back of their wardrobe, and they can just put it on and it will remind them. Also, something that I thought of about this song is I love how she references it again in Jealous from her self-titled album. I love whenever people can cross-reference songs and just shows what a discography they have. But man, what a banger. The last song in this tier is going to be Ring the Alarm. So I really love the intensity of her vocals on this track. I think that the production works really well. The siren is something that is really needed on the song and just adds something to it. The only part that I don't like about this song is the whole no part in the background. If you listen to it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That one part of the background vocal. Beyonce's vocals on the song are flawless, of course. I don't know who is doing that background vocal. This is something I noticed like a few months ago, and it always bothers me whenever I listen to the song. I'm like, why did they put that on there? But that's just my personal opinion. About the song, Beyonce says, it's energetic, aggressive, and filled with heartbeats. She explained that the album was completed in 3 weeks, which is the reason most of the record, including Ring the Alarm, sounds aggressive. She further clarified that she did not intend to write an angry song. Swizz's Ring the Alarm had that tough vibe, like the guy had cheated, and I wanted to write something really honest. If you're in a relationship, even if the man's cheating and you end up not wanting him, the thought of another woman benefiting on the lessons that you've taught him. So that is going to be it in terms of my thoughts on the standard edition of this album. However, I did want to share my thoughts on the deluxe tracks with you really quickly. So first up, we have Beautiful Liar with Shakira. So I think that this is a great track. I really love how they're both able to shine in this song separately and together. Their voices complement each other really well. I like the instrumentation. I like the premise of the song as well. I can appreciate the music video for this song also. Next up is going to be If. So I think that this is a good track. It is one that I tend to skip, not because it's bad, just because most of the time I'm not in the mood to listen to it, but I can appreciate it whenever it comes on. And then we have Listen from the Dreamgirls soundtrack, and I think that this is an incredible vocal performance. Again, another one I don't listen to because I tend not to be in the mood to listen to it all the time, but whenever I do listen to it, it's something that overtakes me in terms of her vocal performance, and I love the songwriting on here as well. And the next song is going to be Worldwide Woman. This song is alright. It's something that's kind of unserious because it starts off with all these strings, so you think it's going to be a slower track, and then boom, it completely switches up in terms of like the production. And this is one that I just tended to skip or whatever, and I kind of forgot how it sounded at parts, and so I re-listened to it, and I think that it's okay. Not one that I tend to go to a lot, but I can appreciate it for what it is. And now we're on to Flaws and All. Again, another good track that I tend not to listen to a whole lot. And then we have Welcome to Hollywood featuring Jay-Z. I skipped this song so many times, I kind of forgot what it sounded like on the whole, and so I did come back to it, and I'm like, you know what, this is a good song. I need to listen to it more, because I could really appreciate how they both work together in the song, and I really like the production and lyrics as well. In terms of the Spanish tracks on this album, I'm able to appreciate them for what they are. I tend not to really listen to them just because they are Spanish versions of songs that we already have, so I'd rather listen to the English version. And then there was also that duet that she did, I think it was called like Amor Gitano or something like that. I don't remember liking that song, that's just like my personal opinions there, but that's kind of like my thoughts on the Spanish tracks on this album. Also, I was scrolling through the Wikipedia for this album recently, and you know, for some countries they release extra tracks like the Japanese version of the album and so on. I've never heard any of these songs, so I'd listen to them, and I wanted to share my thoughts with you on them today. So the first one is going to be Back Up. I think that this is a great song. She has decent vocals on here, and the production is outstanding. Next up is going to be Creole, which is definitely my favorite out of these extra tracks that I listened to. So I think that the instrumentation and production in here is absolutely fantastic, and I love her vocals on here too. Now on to Lost Your Mind. So this is one that I just don't really enjoy. It doesn't really progress how I had hoped. Next up is going to be Still in Love Kissing You. I can appreciate her vocal performance on here, but it's something that's not for me. The last one is going to be First Time. I think that the song is okay overall, and I definitely think that these tracks are ones that you should give a listen if you really do enjoy this album. Like I said, Creole is my favorite, and so that is the one that I would recommend the most. And now on to my overall thoughts on this album. So I think that this is an amazing album. I definitely think that it is one of her best albums, and it is one of my favorite albums. The energy on this album is just something that is truly unmatched, and just what she did on this album, what she tapped into, is so special, and it's just something that I have so much fun listening to overall. And it's like if I want to clean or if I just need an energy boost, I usually listen to to this album or for. And also like regarding the cleaning bit, I saw this tweet that was really funny and I will have it on the screen right next to me. I think that the vocals on here are superb. I think that the production on here is incredible. And I really love all the different genres that she tackles onto this. Beyonce is such a versatile artist in terms of what she's able to do. And so I just really appreciate that about her. I also think that the songwriting on this record is great overall. I think that this album has hit after hit after hit, and it's something that's so enjoyable to listen to there. And definitely shout out to everyone who worked on this record, from the producers to the songwriters to the engineers to the instrumentalists and just everyone, because this album is such a great body of work and just one that brings me joy every single time. Some people like to play in this album's face and be like, oh, why do you guys love B-Day so much? I do not tolerate B-Day slander. And something about this album is most of the time I go to listen to it, I'm kind of just looking to listen to the up-tempo tracks. So most of the time I skip Irreplaceable and also Resentment. And like I said, I can't enjoy those songs. It's just most of the time I want to hear the up-tempo tracks or whatever. So part of me is like, it would have been great if they would have had like the up-tempo tracks and then they would have just had like Irreplaceable at the end or somewhere in the track list or whatever, and kind of just left Resentment onto like the deluxe tracks. At least that's personally how I'm feeling about it. But as I've been listening to it in full for these past few days for this video, I've really been able to enjoy it as a whole. And so it's just something that is such a great body of work. I really appreciate that she was able to whittle it down to the best like 10 or 11 songs on it, because I think that it makes it a stronger body of work overall. Also, I was really shocked to learn that she completed this album in like 2 to 3 weeks, because like I said, I do think that it's one of her best albums, and she was so young whenever she recorded it. And so I think that you can really feel the energy from that and just like the hunger from that. But it's wild to me that a masterpiece like this only took 2 weeks to record. I love the album cover for this. I think that it's so fitting. Her hair looks perfect. And I also love the text on the album cover as well. And I love the photo shoot for this era, and I love this era overall. It's probably my favorite Beyonce era just in terms of everything. She just absolutely ate during this time. I think that the deluxe cover is great as well, though I do tend to prefer the standard cover. And in terms of the deluxe, something else I wanted to say there is that the sequencing on the deluxe is just not it. I don't really like how she switched it up. I feel like she should just tack the bonus tracks to the end like a lot of people do. She switched it up for 4 in terms of the track sequencing, but I think that it worked better with 4, because I can't imagine a world where I listen to 4 and it doesn't start with Love on Top. Like, that's just not gonna sit right with me. But on this album, getting used to listening to the standard edition and then going to the other edition, I'm like, this just doesn't really gel well, at least for me. So I basically made my own playlist and just had it with the standard track listing and then just do the deluxe tracks that I really enjoyed at the end. I feel like if you've never listened to this album before, you definitely need to. This is a must listen. Just the energy of it all, the performances, the production, the lyrics, it's just so much fun to listen to. But I'm just really glad that I got to do this video, and I figured that this would be fitting to do because the day that this is posted, I believe, is going to be on my birthday, which is October 25th, and I'm going to be turning 22 this year. Very excited for it. My birthday is my favorite day of the year, and so I kind of just thought it would be cool to post it around my birthday. And I also know that she released this album to coincide with her 25th birthday, which I think is pretty cool as well. And also shout out to the person who recommended that I do this video. This is a video on Beyonce that I've always wanted to do, but I've just got caught up with other videos that I was doing on other artists. Also other videos on Beyonce with Renaissance and everything like that. So this was the perfect time to do this video. But that is going to be it for my thoughts on the B-Day album. I would love to know what you guys are thinking down below in the comments. What are your favorite songs? What are your memories with the album? Any important information to add to the conversation? Let's continue the discussion down below in the comments. If you wanted to see more videos on Beyonce, I will have a card on the screen right here to where you guys can go to, and that just takes you to every video that I've ever done on Beyonce. It'll also be at the end of this video and linked down below in the description if you wanted to check that out. But that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, give it a like down below. It helps me out a lot in the YouTube algorithm. I very much appreciate it. You can subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. If you hit the bell, you get a notification to your phone when I post, so you not miss when new videos come out. The first link down below in the description is going to be my second channel. So my latest video on there is me unboxing Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation 1814 vinyl, and it's a special color, so definitely go check that out if you're interested. I'm also going to have my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Spotify if you'd like to follow me. A link to stream this record if you're interested, and lastly, links to educate you guys on important situations. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.